Welcome to the What Does Science Say channel. So let's talk about something that so many of us deal with, those frustrating dark spots. You know, whether you call it hyperpigmentation, melasma, or just old acne marks, trying to get rid of them can feel like a total maze.
But what if there was a clear, science-backed roadmap to get you where you want to go? Well, that's exactly what we're going to do in this explainer. We are cutting through all the noise to give you a step-by-step guide to tackling those dark spots for good, from the outside and the inside. Okay, let's get into it.
Here's our game plan. First, we'll break down what's actually going on under your skin. Then, we'll cover the single most important rule you have to follow. After that, we'll dive into all the treatments you can put on your skin, and just as importantly, how to treat your skin from within. And finally, we'll talk about when it might be time to bring in a professional.
All right, let's start at square one. Because really, before you can fix a problem, you've got to understand what's causing it. Knowing the why behind your dark spots is without a doubt the most important first step to getting clearer skin.
So, what even is a dark spot? Well, at its core, it's just your skin making too much pigment in one little area. See, your skin has this stuff called melanin. It's what gives your skin its color. But when certain triggers, like the sun, hormones, or even an old pimple, cause those pigment-making cells to go into overdrive, they dump too much melanin in one spot. And voila, you've got a dark spot.
And you know, it's really important to realize that not all spots are created equal. You've got sunspots, which are usually pretty clearly defined little dots from UV damage, and the pigment isn't too deep. But then you have melasma. This one is often linked to hormones, and it looks more like patchy, blotchy areas. The tricky part is, the pigment in melasma is way deeper in the skin, which makes it tougher to treat.
Okay, before we even think about a single cream, serum, or treatment, we have to lay the foundation. This next part isn't just a suggestion. It is the absolute non-negotiable cornerstone of any successful plan to fight dark spots.
And hey, don't just take it from me. The consensus among dermatologists is crystal clear. The sun is the #1 enemy here. If you are not protecting your skin from UV radiation every single day, then anything else you do is pretty much a waste of your time and your money. It just won't work. So what does real sun protection actually look like? Well, first, your sunscreen has to be broad spectrum. That protects you from both types of UV rays. You want at least an SPF 30, but if you're dealing with melasma, you gotta bump that up to SPF 50. Reapplying is crucial, and here's a great pro tip. Tinted sunscreens are amazing because the iron oxides in them also protect you from visible light, like from your phone and computer screens, which can also make pigmentation worse. And of course, hats are your best friend. All right, so once your defenses are up, it's time to go on the attack. Now that we've got protection locked down, let's talk about the active treatments. We'll kick things off with a simple and surprisingly effective home remedy, and then we'll dive into the powerhouse ingredients to look for in skincare products.
This DIY mask is a fantastic natural option. All you do is mix some licorice powder and rice flour with yogurt to make a paste. So, why licorice? It's pretty cool, actually. It contains this natural compound that basically tells your skin to chill out and stop making so much extra pigment. It gets right to the source of the problem. DIYs are a great place to start for sure, but if you want to bring out the big guns, we need to talk about some of the clinically proven ingredients you can find in serums and creams. Let's see what you should be looking for on those labels. I love this table because it shows you how you can attack dark spots from different angles. It's like having a team, and each player has a different job. You've got ingredients like vitamin C and kojic acid that work to block the production of pigment. Then you have niacinamide, which stops that pigment from moving up into your visible skin cells. And then there are retinoids, which speed everything up, helping you shed those darker cells faster. The best routines often use a combo of these. You might hear this sciencey sounding word thrown around, tyrosinase. So what is it? Honestly, just think of it as the on switch for making melanin. The reason so many of these ingredients like kojic acid and vitamin C work so well is that they are tyrosinase inhibitors. They literally flip that switch to the off position, stopping extra pigment before it even starts.
Okay, so we've covered protection and what you can put on your skin. But that's only half the story, isn't it? Real, lasting change comes from what you put in your body. Let's shift gears and talk about the internal stuff.
Your skin is literally built from the food you eat, so it needs the right fuel to repair itself. Protein provides the essential building blocks for new cells. Vitamin C, from things like berries and oranges, is a massive antioxidant that fights damage. Zinc helps control inflammation, and those healthy omega-3 fats help calm your entire system down from the inside out.
And it goes way beyond just your diet. Your daily habits play a huge part. Things like chronic stress, not getting enough deep sleep, or having poor digestion, all of that can throw your hormones and inflammation levels out of whack, which can absolutely make pigmentation harder to get rid of. It's all connected. So let's say you're doing everything right. You're a sunscreen superstar, you've got a great topical routine, you're eating well, but those stubborn spots just are not budging. What do you do then? Well, that's when it's time to call for reinforcements.
Now, the key here is being patient, but you also have to be realistic. If you've given a really solid at-home routine a good 3 to 6 months and you're just not seeing the progress you want, that's the perfect time to see a board-certified dermatologist. They can take your treatment to the next level.
And trust me, dermatologists have a whole arsenal of tools to help. Things like chemical peels and lasers can resurface the skin and shatter pigment. But, and this is a really important but, some treatments aren't for everyone. For example, IPL can be great for sunspots, but can actually make hormonal melasma worse. This is exactly why getting a proper diagnosis from a professional is so critical.
And that brings us to what might be the hardest part of this entire journey: patience. Look, treating hyperpigmentation is a marathon, it is not a sprint. Depending on how deep the pigment is and how consistent you are, it can take anywhere from 6 weeks to even a full year to see the results you're hoping for. You just have to stick with it.
So, if you remember just one thing from everything we've talked about, please let it be this. You need a holistic 360-degree approach. You can't just depend on one magic cream or one diet change. Real success comes from combining that diligent sun protection, the right topical treatments, and supporting your health from the inside. It's the whole package.
It really all comes down to those 3 Ps: protection, patience, and a solid plan. With those on your side, you absolutely have the power to make a huge, lasting difference in your skin. So the only question left is, are you ready to take control? Thank you for being with us until the end of this video. Please be sure to subscribe to the What Does Science Say channel and give us energy with your likes and comments. Share your comments with us and send the video to your loved ones so that others can also use it.